Divestment. Almost nobody has heard of it, but this mysterious concept could be a game changer in the fight against climate change. Want to find out more? Then carry on watching. Divestment happens when individuals, institutions, or corporations deliberately sell investments in fossil fuel companies. For example, if fossil fuel corporations such as BP or Shell make up 10% of an investment fund's portfolio, then those shares could be sold in return for money. This money can then be used to buy shares in more sustainable businesses, such as companies that build wind farms. Institutions can divest for a range of reasons. They might believe that investing in fossil fuels is unethical, or they might think that they will earn more profit if they invest in renewables. So what does divestment look like? Investments in fossil fuels are either direct or indirect. Direct investments are like buying things on your own. For example, if you buy a stock in ExxonMobil yourself, it's a direct investment because you personally own a piece of that company. Investing indirectly is like giving your money to someone else to manage it for you. This manager will also receive money from other people and will combine your money with money from other people to make investments. What this means is that indirect investments give you less control over what you invest in. Divestment will be different for different institutions, but this is broadly what it looks like. 1. No new direct investments will be made in the fossil fuel industry. 2. Current direct investments in this industry will be allowed to expire without renewing it. And 3. Indirect investments in the most polluting firms will not be allowed. Fossil fuel divestment has 3 main benefits. Firstly, investing in fossil fuel companies is simply unethical to many people. Humanity's addiction to coal, oil and gas endangers our own future because burning fossil fuels releases greenhouse gases and contributes to climate change. Since climate change makes tropical regions uninhabitable and causes the mass extinction of species, fossil fuel divestment is simply the right thing to do for many institutions. Secondly, divestment sends a powerful message to fossil fuel companies. As of December 2023, $40 trillion has been divested away from dirty energy towards clean energy. The sheer scale of divestment not only makes business less economically viable for fossil fuel companies, but it also creates social stigma around how these corporations currently operate. Coupled with divestment's attention in the media, this incentivizes fossil fuel companies to do the right thing and invest more in clean energy. Moreover, divestment empowers ordinary people and equips them with important skills, because implementing divestment is not easy. In the case of Harvard and Yale, students had to organize into groups and persuade their university to divest. The process was long and arduous. It took a whole decade for them to convince Harvard to divest $42 billion. Along the way, pupils gained financial knowledge, learned how to persuade people, and became more resilient. What this all means is that divestment benefits everybody. It aligns with institutions' moral values, equips ordinary people with essential skills, and incentivizes fossil fuel companies to invest in the green energy transition. Whilst divestment does have many benefits, there are certainly drawbacks to the idea too. Some institutions argue that divestment is bad for their finances for 2 reasons. Firstly, fossil fuel investments are more profitable than renewable ones. And secondly, removing fossil fuel corporations from their portfolio increases financial risk as their investments will be less diverse. However, according to the Bank of England, fossil fuel divestment has a marginal impact on portfolio performance. This is because whilst fossil fuels may be more profitable than renewables, coal, oil and gas are also much riskier than their green counterparts. Gas prices, for example, are extremely volatile and are vulnerable to external factors such as the war in Ukraine. What this means is that whilst divestment might reduce profits in the short term, it reduces risk in the long term and has a limited effect on the portfolio as a whole. Moreover, one could argue that one institution divesting barely makes a difference. After all, fossil fuel companies are each worth trillions of dollars, and a few $1 million won't affect them at all. Whilst this is true, divestment is more of a political strategy than an economic one. It forces the most prestigious institutions, such as The Guardian or MIT, to choose which side of the climate debate they are on. The resultant media attention then sparks discussion around the world, pushing forward the case for climate action. Divestment alone will not solve global warming, but it bolsters the climate agenda on the political front. Even so, the top 500 university endowments in America collectively hold $400 billion, which is bound to make an impact on fossil fuel companies. Divestment is just one of many strategies in the fight against climate change. It aligns with institutions' moral values, equips ordinary people with essential skills, and incentivizes fossil fuel companies to invest in the green energy transition. Whilst there are some concerns regarding its impacts, divestment will shift the political debate towards climate action for a better, brighter, and greener future.